This video is about all the famous people and celebrities who passed away in 1972 in the United States. This is the 12th episode. Before we proceed, please subscribe to our channel to support us. Marie Wilson. She was born in August 1916 and she died in November 1972. Her age was 56 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was cancer. Marie Wilson was a comedic actress, best known for her role in My Friend Irma in both radio and film, as well as various Hollywood comedies in the 1940s and the 1950s. Although Wilson was afraid of the microphone used in radio, she played scatterbrained Irma Patterson in the radio comedy My Friend Irma from April 11, 1947 to August 23, 1954. Wilson began her career in Hollywood in the 1934 film Down to Their Last Yacht as a ship passenger, and then appeared in Babes in Toyland as Mary Quite Contrary. In 1936, she played Miss Murgatroyd in Saturn Met a Lady, a loose adaptation of 1929 novel The Maltese Falcon by Dashiell Hammett. Wilson was in Fools for Scandal as Myrtle in 1938. She was in Waterfront in 1939 as Ruby Waters. In 1949, she played Irma Patterson in the film My Friend Irma, reprising her role from the radio series. In 1950, she again played Irma in My Friend Irma Goes West. Wilson's talent have been recognized with 3 stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, for radio at 6301 Hollywood Boulevard, for television at 6765 Hollywood Boulevard. Leo G. Carroll. He was born in October 1886 and he died in October 1972. His age was 85 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was cancer-induced pneumonia. Leo G. Carroll was a distinguished character actor known for his work in Alfred Hitchcock's films and his role as Mr. Waverly in The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Carroll, who had moved to Hollywood, made his film debut in Sadie McKee in 1934. He often played doctors or butlers, but he made appearances as Marley's Ghost in A Christmas Carol in 1938 and as Joseph in Wuthering Heights in 1939. He appeared in 2 Charlie Chan films, City in Darkness in 1939 as a shady French locksmith, followed by a role in Charlie Chan's Murder Cruise in 1940 as a passenger on a ship. In the original version of Father of the Bride in 1950, he played an unctuous wedding caterer in 1951 film The Desert Fox, the story of Rommel. He played a sympathetic German field marshal, Gerd von Rundstedt, presenting him as a tragic, resigned figure completely disillusioned with Hitler. Carroll is perhaps best known for his roles in 6 Alfred Hitchcock films: Rebecca in 1940, Suspicion in 1941, Spellbound in 1945, The Paradine Case in 1947, Strangers on a Train in 1951, and North by Northwest in 1959. Prescott Bush. He was born in May 1895 and he died in October 1972. His age was 77 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was cancer. Prescott Bush was an American banker and Republican Party politician after working as a Wall Street executive investment banker. He represented Connecticut in the United States Senate from 1952 to 1963, a member of the Bush family. He was the father of President George H.W. Bush and the paternal grandfather of President George W. Bush and former Florida Governor Jeb Bush. Born in Columbus, Ohio, Bush graduated from Yale College and served as an artillery officer during the First World War. After the war, he worked for several companies, becoming a minor partner of the Brown Brothers Harriman and Company Investment Bank in 1931. He served in several high-ranking United States Golf Association offices, including president of that organization. Bush settled in Connecticut in 1925. Bush won election to the Senate in a 1952 special election, narrowly defeating Democratic nominee Abraham Ribikoff. In the Senate, Bush staunchly supported President Dwight D. Eisenhower and helped intact legislation to create the interstate highway system. Bush won re-election in 1956 but declined to seek re-election in 1962, retiring from the Senate the following year. Danny Whitten. He was born in May 1943 and he died in November 1972. His age was 29 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was drug overdose. Danny Whitten was an American guitarist and songwriter, best known for his work with Neil Young's backing band Crazy Horse, and for the song I Don't Want to Talk About It, a hit for Rod Stewart and Everything But the Girl. Whitten joined Billy Talbot and Ralph Molina and Benjamin Rocco in the doo-wop group Danny and the Memories. After recording an obscure single, Can't Help Loving That Girl of Mine, core members of the group moved to San Francisco, where they morphed into a folk psychedelic rock act called The Circle. Whitten played guitar, Molina drums, and Talbot played bass and piano. By 1967, the group took on brothers George and Leon Witzel on additional guitars and vocals, as well as violinist Bobby Notkoff. The sextet, calling themselves the Rockets, they signed with the independent label White Whale Records, working with producer Barry Goldberg for the group's self-titled album in mid-1968. The album sold poorly. During this period, Whitten began using heroin after finding that it mitigated his long-standing battle with rheumatoid arthritis. He quickly became addicted. Martin Dice Jr. He was born in November 1900 and he died in November 1972. His age was 72 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was heart failure. Martin Dice Jr. was a Texas politician and a Democratic member of the United States House of Representatives. He was elected as a Democrat to the 72nd and after that to the 6 succeeding Congresses. In 1944, Dice did not seek re-nomination to the 79th Congress but was elected to the 83rd and to the 2 succeeding Congresses. In January 1953 and January 1959, again he did not seek re-nomination in 1958 to the 86th Congress. In 1941 and 1957, he was twice defeated for the nomination to fill a vacancy in the United States Senate. Dice served as the first chairman of a special committee to investigate un-American activities from 1937 through 1944. Dice worked as an attorney in Marshall, Texas and Orange, Texas, and eventually became a district judge. In 1931, Dice was elected from Texas' 2nd District to the House of Representatives, a constituency that his father represented for a decade, thus becoming a second-generation Democratic United States congressman. After the Wall Street crash of 1929, Dice wrote in the Chicago Herald-Examiner that the large alien population is the basic cause of unemployment. Edward Cook. He was born in November 1888 and he died in October 1972. His age was 83 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was an American athlete who shared the gold medal in the pole vault with Alfred Carlton Gilbert at the 1908 Summer Olympics. Cook was an all-round athlete and won the IC4A long jump title in 1908 and 1909 and the AAU pole vault title in 1907 and 1911. He graduated from Cornell University in 1910 and later became farmer and a director of the First National Bank in his native Chillicothe, Ohio. He was elected to the Sphinx Head Society during his senior year. Edward Cook was a fine all-round jumper and hurdler. Thanks for watching the video. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Have a nice day.